How accurate can we really be when tracking our food and our exercise? And what are some of the common issues that arise when we're trying to do so? In this episode of Ask Jamie, we're going to tackle it. I'm only eating 1,200 calories and I can't lose weight. Very rarely, in my experience, if someone is eating only 1,200 calories, they will probably be losing weight. So why does this come up over and over again? Here are a couple issues with being accurate with your consumption and with your exercise output. One, we're terrible at estimating our consumption, our intake. We typically underestimate by about 50%. So if you think you're eating 1,000 calories, you're probably eating 1,500 or so. That's quite a big difference. Also, even if we are tracking or estimating appropriately, there is a 20% error allowed on food labels. What do I mean by that? If something says it's 200 calories, it could actually be 180 or it could be 220, quite a variation there. If we have our total daily energy expenditure, are we accurate? Is that number accurate? If that is off, and that's our starting point, it's going to be a little bit harder to get into a caloric deficit if this number is wrong. And then devices. If we are trying to track on an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or whatever other device you have, if we're trying to track our exercise, what we are putting out energy-wise, there's actually a 28 to 93% overestimation of caloric expenditure. That's huge, which basically means that these things, when tracking calories, can be a bit useless. Now, what should we do? First, if you're figuring up your total daily energy expenditure and what your caloric deficit would be in the case of losing weight, use this as a starting point. It has to be a lot of trial and error. That number is not the end-all be-all. That is, again, your starting point. Estimate consumption. When you're estimating how much food you're eating, I would recommend getting a scale and weighing food. Weighing is more accurate than volume. And again, trial and error. You will learn how much you're consuming simply by seeing it on that scale. But also, we typically stick to the same foods. So mentally and just eyeballing it, we will be able to estimate more accurately what we're eating, even if later on we're not measuring it. And then lastly, when it comes to exercise, don't chase caloric burn, because whatever number you're chasing, it's probably not gonna be at that level. Also, when you're just exercising, when you're trying to chase caloric burn, that is, you become hyper-focused on that to a degree, and we forget why we're exercising. If you're trying to gain strength, just gain strength. Just lift weights to gain strength. If we want cardiovascular health, then go do the cardiovascular work and stop worrying about the caloric burn. Stop chasing calories. Till next time, eat with purpose. Give everybody what it needs when it needs it.